Greetings, adventurers. Welcome back to Samdolf the Grey. I am Samdolf. I am not grey. Sorry? I guess? You may have seen that we've been playing through a Beatles-based dating simulator. Try saying that 5 times fast. It's quite difficult. And there is a link to that here. Right next to Yu-Gi-Oh's head. I know that's not his name, please don't come for me. And the creator of the game actually saw my video and got in touch and left a couple of clues in how to achieve the other endings. Now, a few people also reached out and said that they would like to see the other endings. So here we are, back again, ready to delve in with these Liverpudlian boys. And we're going to try and achieve the other outcomes. We unlocked the George ending. I'm sorry if that's a spoiler, but you should have watched it by now. It's been out for over a week. What are you doing? It's cold outside. Put on your Beatles gym jams and sit down in your Beatles bed. And put on the Beatles. So without further ado, we're going to jump straight into it and we're going to see if we can unlock these other endings and see what they have in store. Let's do that. Yep, that's fine. We are Derib. I believe... Oh, okay, no, we just skip right the way through. Stop that. Until we get a choice. So, if you remember, we were put in a crate and then George came in, our former sweetheart, and here he is, asking whether or not we like being in the crate. Which we said that it sucked last time, so we're gonna put that we don't mind being in the crate. You smiled at him, awkwardly. I appreciate the concern, I really do. But I don't really mind the crate. George gave you a weird look. You sure? I'm sure. Well... Suit yourself, then. Good luck, love. He looked over his shoulder and then muttered. Best not to have Paul see me talking to you. He'll start breaking the mirrors. He scurried away as quickly as he came. You rested on your chin. You shut your eyes once again. A sound! Your eyes flitted open and you sat up in your crate, ears perked up. You heard the unmistakable sound of English shouting and banging away outside. McCartney and his other flatmates must be arriving home. You perked up further. You heard footsteps running to your door, the familiar feminine gait. The door flew open. Hello, love! He cheerily strode over, unlocking the crate's latch. I bet you're happy to see me. He blew a kiss and gave a wink. How's the crate, love? Do you like it? Yeah. You blushed, nodding. Yes, I do. Paul beamed. I knew it! He clapped his hands together happily. See, I made it just for you. Paul opened the door. You shifted somewhat uncomfortably as you climbed out of your crate. Though always the gentleman, Paul offered you a hand. Well, love, let's go downstairs. You blushed. Huh? Paul winked. The lads and I got a chat for a bit, you know. And they've always got birds down there to sit on their knee and not talk. He winked. But I don't. And I've already spent my £10 in the day. You see what I'm getting at? He gave you a sultry look. You blushed, your heart beating quickly. Was Paul asking you out? This is different. He held out his arm and you took it, blissfully excited. Wait, I almost forgot. Paul kissed you, right on the mouth. You thought your heart was going to beat out of your chest. But he was unaffected, still smiling cheekily. You got to hold Paul's arm as you walked out of the room. It was nice stretching your legs after being in the crate for 7 hours. Walking into the common area, you were once again caught. You once again caught an eyeful of Paul's three friends. There we go. It was dark out now, though in November in Britain. It simply meant it was later than 4 PM. That's so true. At the moment, yeah. Each of them had a voluptuous blonde on each of their knees. Okay, so I think this is the same. So I'm going to try and skip through a little here. Hey Paul, you about the Gumtree girl? Yes, this is the same. Okay. Yep, so we can skip, I think. Yep, because they're talking about the album cover. I'm sorry, Paul. Paul softened, noticing you were genuinely apologetic. That's alright, love. You're still learning. The others were sympathetic as well. After all, in the span of a day, you were bought and sold to the fabulous Beatles. Paul laid a gentle hand on your shoulder and he smiled sweetly. Listen, we've got some really important things to discuss here. I'm sure you could use a break from all that. He kissed your cheek. You felt as if you were about to melt, and Paul had a slight smile looking between you and the others. Love, how about you and the other girls go to the kitchen and make us all a lovely pot of tea? You nodded and slowly stood up from his lap. You followed the 3 other girls into the kitchen. You never knew how to speak to a woman, or to women, being not like the other girls and all, and so unique. You assumed that they were speaking of makeup and sinful modern rock and roll music. You couldn't hear them as you covered your ears and faced the corner, refusing to be like them. Wait a sec. For the first time you were out of sight of those naughty Beatles, and not in the dog crate either. Your eyes drifted. There was a window in the kitchen. It was open. You didn't have to do this anymore. You could run away. You could be free! Free of the Beatle horrors! Is that what you wanted? I think we should stay put. No. No, don't be silly. You turned away. You spent another hour in the corner until a gentle hand was laid on your shoulder, knocking you out of your deep contemplation. Hello, love. You turned around. It was Paul. Are you feeling better? You blushed and bit your lip. You nearly melted under his sensual gaze. Let's get you to bed, eh? You sighed. Paul was such a romantic. Paul. Paul walked in after you. He had such a sweet-looking face. Oh, yes, love. You blushed. Well, as you destroyed my belongings, and I didn't get to bring any clothes. Yeah, love? What am I supposed to wear to bed? Not a word. I've just the thing. Paul bounded across the room like a rabbit ducking into his dresser. You stood up straighter, attempting to see, but you couldn't. Then he turned and held out a white nightgown. Your hand went to your mouth. He tossed it to you and you scrambled to catch it. Do you like it? He winked. I've got one just like it. Your head tilted. Paul giggled, narrowing his eyes. I like nightgowns. He gestured to his crotch. Freeing, easy access, and I don't just mean for pissing. You looked at him. Come on, are you going to try it on? Right now? He winked. Why not? Oh, okay then. You disrobed, unzipping your dress, slipping out of your stockings. Paul smirked. I don't suppose you sleep with your bra on? You looked down, confused. I don't know why Paul slowly turned into Chris Tarrant. I'm not wearing a bra. It was Paul's turn to look confused. His eyebrows furrowed. He pointed at your chest. Then, what's that? You looked down. My breasts. Paul's eyes widened. Bag 'em! So they are! You slipped on the nightgown. Paul whistled. Oh, baby! It looks nice. I wouldn't whistle if it didn't. You turned around, eyeing yourself in the full-length mirror. You could see Paul's reflection within it and met his eye. Paul's musician friends had all retired for the night, banging their selection of well-endowed broads. But you were alone with the man you were smitten for. Paul began his nighttime routine, which you watched with silent reverence. You sat on the floor looking up at him. Paul was truly a beauty. You couldn't believe you hadn't noticed it before, his face all over pop magazines and record shops. You turned your head away in protest, getting into automobile accidents, and for what? He undressed so sensually. Paul combed through his dark, soft hair, viewing himself in the vanity mirror. And he sat with such grace, his very presence hypnotic. He spoke without turning his head. Well, maybe I should have prepared you better. I just sprung the common etiquette on you as we went. Though, it ought to be common sense. I understand that you're not like the other birds. You shook your head. Most girls were blonde. However, you were not blonde. Maybe we're blonde. Many girls could not read, but you could often string together sentences, given you sounded them out beforehand. However, there was one and only one thing that made you like the other girls. You were in love. in love with a man. There was no other like him. Paul sighed. By gum. His head tilted so elegantly as he did so. Your body heated, the beginning of lust. His head turned to you, and then he stood, coming closer. Your body tensed, craving his touch. What made you so upset today? I tried my best to make you at home here. To do anything to give you that. You blushed. You could just about feel his breath. He was so close. You wanted to reach out and touch. No, grab him. Grab him like he was a woman. And show him you were a man. Oh, McCartney. You quivered. Someone like you. You bring the beast out of me. His hazel eyes softened. The beast? You gripped his face, impassioned. Oh, Mackie. I simply cannot control myself any longer. I must have you. It didn't do that. You went in for a kiss. But McCartney turned his head. You didn't make contact. Your chest sank. Unrequited passion? Ah, but love, it's me that has you. Or have you forgotten? Corey was right. You were his possession, and therefore... That's a horrible image. His eyes were dark when meeting yours. Sensual, hazel, dough-like, but very dark. I will have you! He captured your mouth in a fiery embrace. Hands groped at your female body, and you groped at his sensual curves. McCartney moaned obscenely. The fury of your mutual passion was unparalleled. The room shook with your copulation. Pictures falling off the walls, the very foundation of 57 Green Street being violated. McCartney cried out like a cat in heat, which he very much was. His body was supple, with the virility of youth, and he went for multiple rounds, and edges too. You put your mouth over every inch of his skin, and he tasted just like the Mersey, and he was just as wet. The Sainsbury closed at 11, but you went all night long. We got the true end. I hated that ending. That image is something else. Well, that's the true end that we've achieved. Yep. So, I guess that was the true end. That was old McCartney. I think we can squeeze in another ending, personally. I think we can do it. So, we are back, and we're going to try and get the other ending. So all I've done is kind of take the save. So we're just going to escape out the window, I think. So this is after they sent us to go make a pot of tea. To hell with the Beatles. I'm out of here. Did we die? The game just closed. Well, I guess that's that ending. Okay, then that leaves one more ending, which we are going to do next time, which will probably be our last Beatles episode. Thank you so much for checking in, whether or not it was for a couple of minutes or the full duration of this video. If you haven't already, please consider dropping a sub, it would really help me out, and you can be part of the Majors Guild. I'm not sure what that means yet, but it'll mean something one day, and when it does, you'll want to be sure that you were part of it in the first stage. You can be one of those people that says, I was part of it before it was cool. Until then, guys, stay safe, take care, all the best. Catch you next time.